afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Fabulous Tony's YouTube channel. It is very hot here in Texas. I'm so glad that you all could join me today. I have been introduced to 21 Days of Honesty. Hello, Malachi. That's my son, Malachi. Before I jump right on in, let me introduce Malachi Lemons, my 3-year-old. The love of my life, the center of my universe. We are out here. We had a meal in the grass. I will no longer refer to it as a picnic. If you've heard the information, I can give you a link if you need it. Anyway, we're having a meal in the grass, and I needed to make this video for you all, though. So let me get back to it. 21 Days of Honesty, a part of the Mary movement by my best friend, Mary Jane. She has decided that it's necessary for us to do somewhat of a cleanse, to remind ourselves of some things that we might have forgotten, to just be honest about, to bring up and start to consider in order to go through these 21 days for change of yourself. If you'd like to embark on this with us, I greatly encourage it. And you can use my video as kind of a jump off, because I've never done this before. This is 100% brand spanking new, and I'll actually explain why, because it is definitely a part of my day 4. For day 1, just to give you kind of a recap, I started to dig in about it's the beginning of the necessary evils, I suppose, because these are just hard decisions that we as adults have to make in order to continue on in life. Sometimes they are whether or not to put your child in public school, or whether or not to pay a bill as opposed to pay college tuition. Some of these decisions can be heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, life-changing. And so, you know, it's hard for me. They've always been hard for me, making hard decisions. So it was necessary for me to be honest with myself about that and make them and stick to them and not be doubtful. So that's what I encourage you to do as well. For day 2, I had to really dig deep in on the bad habits that my socioeconomic status still had on me. I mean, I was allowing my past to continue to hold me down, ultimately. And a lot of little things. I've got a video that I'll share with you all later about those, that it goes really specific into that. But I grew up really poor, and it's really hard to let go of some of those old habits or those things that you did for so many years, but it's necessary for movement. My day 3 was about going with the flow. Lord knows I'm obsessive compulsive, so it's really hard for me to just let things go. I'm also an Aries, so you would think that it would be easier for me to just fly by the seat of my pants, but it's really not. I like to plan things. That also goes along with my socioeconomic status. Whenever I am in the need to do something, I'm always thinking of the most cost-effective way to do it, or the most efficient way to get it done. That way everybody involved is thought of, and everything is considered, and there's no surprises, there's no mistakes, there's no accidents. I don't like accidents. I think they're insane. How do you have an accident? Nothing's an accident, right? Wrong. Sometimes things happen, and it's okay. Sometimes you gotta just roll with it. You gotta go with the flow, and that's okay too. As a matter of fact, yesterday, that's why it was centered around that day, it was really crazy. It was really hectic, and I'm just thinking, if we would have just planned this better, it would have went fantastically. But in reality, it didn't. But it still went just as fantastically, I think, as it would have otherwise. So for today, which is day 4, and I know I'm talking really fast, but it's because I don't want to waste anybody's time. Duh. But day 4 is serious, and I wanted to get straight to it. So it's about risks. What kind of risks do you take? Thinking about just a few very simple risks that I think people take every day. We can include traffic. We can include hopping into a car and driving down the street. It's very dangerous. It's very risky. You could be seriously injured just operating a motorized vehicle. Another risk that we take is, well, for women anyway, is hair damage. As you can see, I am blonde, and I love it. It has been so much fun. I've probably been blonde for about 6 weeks now. It was my 25th birthday, big blasto thing for me to go blonde, and I'm really enjoying it. However, it was a risk for me to do it. Considering the damage that your hair can take, and you see, I grow my hair out often. It just depends on the mood, but in this case, I had grown my hair out pretty long, and I was so scared of how damaged it would be after I did this process. But it was so worth it. I'm so glad I did it at the end of the day. But these are just some of the superficial risks that we do take as people in our everyday lives. What's necessary is that we recognize those superficial risks versus our reality risks, which is what I'm really here to talk about. Those reality risks can include whether or not you're wasting your life away watching Real Housewives of Who Gives a What, or the food that you eat. Are you picking up Taco Bell 4 times a week? I'm pretty sure you could have some congestive heart failure coming on soon. These are some real risks. Risks that can take over our lives, that we don't even recognize, the little bitty things that we do that can really hurt us. My own personal risk, the reason why I'm bringing this up today, is because I made a decision. Whenever I got pregnant with my son, I decided that I was going to sacrifice all things. That I was actually going to sacrifice myself for my son. I was going to dedicate my life to him. And what I didn't realize was that that was a big honor. It was a huge honor, and I probably should not have done that. I'm glad that I did up until this point. He's 3 years old now, and so now I'm able to actually give myself some freedom. But now I'm having to do this video. I'm having to commit myself because I got in a rut. I put myself in this hole where I could not get out. And so here's this video. Here's me, Fabulous Tony, allowing myself out, giving myself an outlet and some freedom and the room to say that I am worth the risk. It is a risk for me to not sacrifice myself for my son, but it's also going to be a reward, because if I don't actually take some time out to think about myself, then what does that leave for him? I am him. Without me, he will suffer. So I need to build the foundation in order for the rest of the building to erect with such enormous fortitude. And that is exactly what I'm trying to build here, is a very strong, fortuitous man. And he will be. So this is necessary. It is necessary that I recognize that I am worth the risk. And that I can do some things. I can have some freedom. I can breathe, and it'll be okay. So, thank you, first off, for listening, for taking this time to accept me, because this is a big jump for me. Any of you out there that have never posted a YouTube video or have thought about it but are afraid of the who knows what, take the risk. You are worth the risk. Just as I am, so are you. We all have something to offer this world, and it's unnecessary for anyone to think otherwise. Oh yeah, he loves Harry Potter. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope you take from this. I hope you'll see me again soon. Please rate, comment, hit me up. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter and Facebook. Fabulous Tony. Look for me all over. There's no one else. I guarantee you. No one else. And know that you are worth the risk. Take our 21 days of honesty with us. Maybe just start up with us today or restart it. It's up to you. It's worth it. At the end of it, you will see that you have created a cycle, that you have done something good for yourself. And it's always worth it to do something good for you. So have a great day. Love, peace, and stay fabulous.